Okay, well, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this time. And this is a Relax Deeply class. And I sent out an email and I put in the title of the email that, oh no, it's out of my head, but relaxation is worth the practice. It's worth the time and the investment. It's not an easy thing to be able to relax. So a lot of people, like, right, I just think of my mother. If she was here, she'd be like, yeah, that's true. It's hard for her to not be out and running around. She's having a tough time, but she's adjusting because you have to. But I know, like, and I've talked about it before with her, but people like that. And maybe, in one time in your life you were like that. It was really hard to just do nothing. And doing nothing is almost impossible. So when you talk to somebody, you're like, what did I do today? Gosh, I didn't do anything. You did a lot of things. And even if you're like lying in bed watching TV and you fell asleep and took a nap, that's you feeling into your own, like, I'm tired right now. I need to close my eyes and take a nap. That's not doing nothing. That's doing something, right? That's sacred self-care. All of those things. If you like to doodle with metallic Sharpies on black paper and you do that for an hour and that fills your soul and makes you feel good and relaxed and that hour goes by so fast, and that's doing something. That's doing something. You're feeding your soul. So even as we enter into this practice and we do nothing other than set our body up and drop in, no, you are doing everything. You are gifting yourself permission to feel yourself breathe, to feel your body, to notice any tension you're holding. And I'll say this too, that when things become difficult, like if you're sitting, you're in a lying down, for example, if we're in a pose for a little longer than you feel you're ready, you're ready to come out and we're still in it. That's the doorway. That's the doorway to be like, okay, well, why am I feeling like that? And what do I need to do? And maybe you need to shift and change, how you are. But it's the doorway to really feel, where's the anxiety or where's that feeling coming? What is happening in my body that's making me say I need to get out of this right now? And it's the invitation to drop in more deeply. It's doing everything while you do nothing. Okay, so thank you so much for being here. And I honor your practice and I honor your presence. And we'll bring the hands together and let's start just by creating that heat. You can drop your gaze to look at your hands or your candle if you lit one. I'm starting to feel your breath. If your eyes want to close, let that happen. And start to listen to the sounds coming from your hands. You create fire. And keep going. And let's take it this way, that the hands are busy. They have something to do. The rest of the body is just being present and breathing and feeling. Okay, now we'll take these hands, we're going to place them either on your eyes or on your body or on your thighs or on your back and your tummy. Any place, and wherever you put them first is probably where they need to be. Just take like a couple of nice breaths here and feel yourself held by your own presence. That you have taken this time to support yourself. Let's take a few more breaths here. Just breathing into your supportive presence. If you want to change where you placed your hands, you can do that now or just drop them into your lap. And just for your last breath here before we bring the hands together, take a nice full inhale. And just hold it at the top, pause, and release the breath. And bring your hands together at your heart. So on your heart, in front of your heart, however they come to be placed is lovely and good. Bow your chin slightly. And if your eyes are closed, drop your gaze to your hands. Like just feel like with your closed eyes, you're looking into that space in front of the heart, receiving and feeling and just connecting to your own heart energy. You might even start to feel your own heart beating. Without changing how you are, feel to the scruff of your neck. And just imagine like Mama Cat just lifting you up from there. And then drop back in. Okay, we're going to call ourselves home, create this inner vibrational energy, not create it, but tap into it. So inhale as you are, lengthen tall, lift your chin, and exhale this breath. Good. And we'll inhale to begin. Starting to bow your chin and just release yourself into a version of forward fold here. So hands can be on the floor, just bow your chin, maybe forearms down, palms together, head dropping, or even head resting on the floor if that works for you. So just dropping in. Now just begin your exploration here, just feeling where the breath is being called to. Notice if you're clenching in your jaw, or hardening in your eyes. And noticing if you're also maybe clenching a little bit in your pelvic floor. Maybe that can be released. And then just walking yourself back upright. And if you want to stay for a few more moments, that's fine. Once you come up, you'll just stretch your legs out and just gonna take a moment and move your feet around if they've been in their shoes all day or not. And, yeah, just move your ankles and your feet. And, good. Okay. So we're going to take our socks and our oil and massage and love that which carries us all day. So I haven't been guiding your massage as much because it's going to feel like we were there, but you've got this. Just make sure you pay attention to all the parts of your foot and even noticing the colors of your foot. Looking for that, beautiful pink of like the newborn babe, it breathes everywhere. Every part of the body is receiving oxygen and blood flow. And at the same time, we don't have baby feet. So notice any places of discomfort, any places of tenderness and tightness. Generally, that's the arch of the foot is where we tend to hold. So if there's anything there, the center of your foot. And just getting also in between the toes, like right to the base, just running your thumbs or your fingers in there. And it might be tender. Notice. Yes. The top of the foot, the Achilles, everything here. Good. Okay. And then I'm just going to give it a nice little rub and tug. Tug the toes, rub the foot. And then we'll sock it up. And then just pause, take a moment. Just kind of feel the energy in each foot. One of them feels alive and vibrant, and the other one is waiting its turn.
Jealous.
Okay. So however you can sit and do this is fine. And then you just do the exact same, loving and honoring. If you've been coming to class on Monday night and Thursday night regularly, and a lot of you have been, and we've been doing this foot massage thing now for, I think we're at like 10 weeks, maybe even 11. So just notice too, your feet happier, are they softer? What's the value in this? Okay, and also we're just working the base of the toes, between the toes. Yeah. And the other thing, by doing this, we're getting this nice benefit of the hands doing all the work here. So that's a good thing. Okay, and we'll just give it a nice little twist and a tug, a little rub. Okay. Cover up. Good. Oh, like that already, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's our first pause. Our first pause. Our first pose is going to be a modified Shavasana, and this is called waterfall. So I take a blanket, and we'll do that blanket roll that we do, where I just kind of fold it third of the way down, and then make this sausage. So that's going to be for supporting the heart, and then we'll use the bolster to support, maybe higher than we normally do. So normally I have it about the calves, resting knees. Maybe we'll bring it up a bit. You'll see what feels good. So either one. It does affect the back if the bolster's closer or further. And then we're going to take, if you have another blanket, then I'll just do like, not really a roll, but maybe I'll fold it in triplicate. And this will be to support the heels. And then if you want another blanket to cover yourself or your eye pillow, then grab that stuff. Okay, so just set that aside. I do have my heating pad too, which is my new favorite yoga prop. So if you have one. Okay, so then we'll set up. So you lie down and get this lift in your chest. Okay, so this might feel uncomfortable for the first few moments. Hopefully that will go away. I'll say this too, you can always put another blanket underneath your head. You don't even need me to tell you that because you know that. And if you feel you want, a little extra padding under your hips, then I guess you need another blanket for that. So find everything you need and set yourself up so that you feel very comfortable. Generally, I put the arms over the blanket roll under the chest, but if that's no good, just find a better place and they can come low. Okay. Good. So I'm just going to add a little head support. And then we're in it. So, okay. So I'm just going to give you a few moments to kind of drop yourself in. To just kind of feel the body slowly surrendering. If anything feels not happy, but not painful. Like if your back feels, a little tight, shoulders feel a little tight, let that be your doorway. So that you settle your breath, your awareness into these places with the intention of releasing them, feeling them. You know, if you've had some body discomfort or something happening in your body, then you could even explore it here in this position. So if one side of your body feels a little tighter than the other, then maybe you need to move your head a little bit to the side that feels okay. That's just one little thing. You might move your legs. You just kind of can play a little bit and go, okay, what's going to help me so that I can be in this position and use it as the doorway in. Bringing your inner gaze, your inner awareness through the body. You know, if you're parts of your body that's lifted a little bit away from the floor, and there are parts of your body that are going to be very supported here by the props or by the floor. So even as you scan from the crown of the head down, just feel that idea of the waterfall. Body rising and falling, rising and falling. And feel the body held and supported by what you have created. And staying in your stillness. But now, just bringing in a little bit of breath. So as you inhale your breath, we have all this free space for the breath to fill. So let it be a nice, long inhalation. Just feel the body fill up, maybe from bottom to top. When you get to the top of the breath, just linger for a moment or two. And then begin that long, slow exhalation. So from here, all we're going to do is just turn the head all the way to the left. Let's start with the left. So if you have your eye pillow, it might just drop. Just turn your head to the left. And just notice if that changes anything in how you're feeling. And into maybe a new doorway of something else that you can be with and explore. Staying with that long, slow inhale and exhale. And feeling that that exhalation is the invitation to release a little bit more over the crops. And then bringing your head back to center. And then turning your head all the way to the right. And just doing that same work. And then bringing your head back to center. Good. Okay. So just start to move your ankles, your wrists, as if you're waking up from Shavasana. And you bend the knees. You place your feet on your bolster on the floor. And we'll just roll to the side. Just come up enough so you can take this blanket roll out that you had under your chest. And you're going to come back to lie down. Okay. Now grab your bolster. Hopefully you can just grab it. You're just stretch your legs out. So you're just lying down. Maybe that blanket roll is still there for your heels. And we're just going to lay the bolster over the body. So I just have it going the long way. Just interlace my fingers, lay them on top of the bolster, and just drop in for a few breaths here. Let the shoulders settle, even though they might be lifted. And feel your breath through the bolster or even into the bolster. Drop your gaze, your inner gaze. Just feel your breath moving with the bolster, into the bolster. Soften your jaw, your eyes, and just really be with your breath here. If it's the most interesting and fascinating thing you've observed all day. Just taking a few more breaths as you are. You can keep the bolster where it is. You might take your arms over your head just to open up the sides of the ribs as you breathe. Your legs can just be very relaxed. Stay with that long breath if that works. Let's just take 5 more breaths. Your forehead soft, your inner gaze soft. Soften everything you can. This last exhalation. And then you'll just, if your arms are over your head, you'll bring them back. Just hold your bolster. We're going to turn the bolster now the opposite direction, so it's horizontal. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. And we're going to lift the hips and slide this bolster underneath the sacrum. So if this works without rolling over and coming up, great. If you have to roll over and come up, that's fine. You're just going to rest your hips, your sacrum on the bolster with the knees bent. And just feel like where we had that blanket roll under the chest. So now with the bolster under the hips, that area under the chest is very connected to the floor. Let your hands rest wherever they like, out to the side or on your body. And as you just take a few breaths here, you might need something more underneath your head. I'll just say that. As you breathe here, really feel that underneath the chest can really melt. The shoulder blades can melt. The outer shoulders can melt. The front of your heart. And as that all drops, you might even notice your jaw, your head comes a little bit more relaxed as well. Your eyes. Good. Okay. And from here, I'm going to bring the right knee into the chest. So feel free to walk your feet a little closer together or change your stance. Just going to interlace your fingers and hold that in. And then if you feel like you're falling, you need to move the bolster, adjust it. And if you want to stretch the left leg long, you can do that too. So however you want to do this, we're just letting everything be relaxed. We're using gravity, our breath, the props, the floor, just to release the low back, open the hip flexor a little bit. So the effort you're putting in is really just the interlace of the fingers. If that's not comfortable for you, then maybe you'll put another blanket over top of your shin and just hold the sides of the blanket. Good. Just coming back to all that, the doorway, wherever you feel discomfort or something. Without hardening the face, just breathing into these places with your great awareness and your great presence. If things feel, maybe a little cut off or tied, if you pull the knee in and you start to feel it, the hip flexor wants to be released, and that's your doorway. You soften even more through the front of the hip, the foot, shoulders. And final few breaths here. Let the inhale fill and the exhale release. We'll release this leg. Both feet can sit on the floor, or both legs can be stretched out. Arms can be out to the side or over your head if you like. Anywhere there that you can just receive the flushing, the newness, the freshness. You feel that by doing nothing, by resting in your stillness, it's the doorway for change. Deep internal change. Even if it's just for this moment. Settle into the floor, into your breath, softening your face. And moving into the second side when you feel ready. So if the right leg needs to bend to bring the left knee in, maybe it stays bent. Maybe the bolster needs to adjust, head needs to adjust. Understanding that the two sides are going to be different. So just feel in and honor it. If one side feels like it needs a little more tenderness or a little more, loving, compassionate kindness. And walking into the doorway that's being opened. Even as if you could walk into these places and sit down. Oh, I see you hip flexor, low back. You don't have to hold on. Letting the chest relax. The eyes drop. Just resting in as if this is just that medicine that you need. Things maybe feel tighter or a little bit like it needs to be free, then find the freedom within without releasing the leg. How can you make space inside? Use your breath. Taking your final few breaths here, which is that invitation to drop in more deeply. And then release. And however you need to rest, you do that. Just feeling that release, the flushing, the clearing. Dropping your body more to the floor if you can. We're going to bend the knees and roll over. Notice which leg you want to bend first. Do the opposite. If you want to take the bolster out first and take a few moments on your back, just hug your knees in. That's, release your back a bit. That's fine. And just come to just sitting up just for a few moments. You might even keep your eyes closed. You can sit on your bolster, legs crossed or stretched straight. And just bow your chin a little bit. Your hands can be resting. It can be at your heart. You can hold your heart. Okay. So we're going to come back to forward fold like we did at the very beginning. I'm going to change the cross of my legs. And then we're just going to walk in. Just take your hands, walk yourself in wherever you go. You can go slow. Feel into your back if you need to move a little bit side to side, or you just be playful, or just rest, whatever you need here. This is an in-between place. We just kind of feel in, invite the breath. And if you're able to drop your head, do it. And let's take maybe 1 or 2 more breaths. And then we'll walk ourselves upright. Okay. Good. So our next pose is going to be a supported Setu Bandha. So as soon as I show you, you'll be like, oh, we know this one. Okay, I take my blanket roll. I'm going to open it up. And that's going to go a long way. That will be from my head, chest. And then the bolster comes into the center of the mat. Okay, now I'm going to take this. Actually, I'll leave the other blanket that I had for my feet. I'm going to leave it here. But I'll take another blanket. If you don't have another blanket, that's okay. I'm just going to use this one to just wrap my legs up nice and tight so that they don't, fly all over the place. So I just lay it over the bolster, just like that. Okay. Now I sit in the middle of the bolster. So this one I'll just go really quick. I don't know if we come back up. But I want to lie down so that I feel maybe the tops of the hips are on the bolster, but the chest, shoulders are off. Okay, so that's the pose. Then the legs will go out. But, you can see how it is. Adjust your props. You can sneeze. Bless me. Thank you. So I'm just going to come up and just wrap my legs. Okay. I'm just going to come up and just wrap them up like a little sausage and just tuck a little bit underneath so it's not going to go anywhere. Okay. And then we'll come back. If you want your eye pillow or your heating pad, you'll put these on. Okay, so it should be pretty comfortable. You might also have that little bit of discomfort at the beginning, and maybe it'll go away. If it doesn't go away, just wiggle yourself forward or bend your knees and move the bolster down a little bit. Okay, settle in. Arms can be out to the side or resting on your body. And this is a supported inversion. Your heart is above your head. Your legs are above your head. So we're really inviting the head to be quiet. Just the position you're in, the eyes drop, almost like they're looking into your heart. Just taking all of what we have cultivated, practiced, just being very present, releasing, receiving, just feeling into the doorway, the invitation. Just noticing for yourself too that the longer you stay here, there's still always space to let go. Scanning for yourself where you may still be holding tension. Just checking in with your jaw. And even the weight of the head. Is there more room to let it drop? So we're just entering the final few moments here. And you're welcome to just stay as you are. You can bend your knees, set your feet either side of the bolster if you like. One thing I love to do here is to bring the knees into the chest with the hips lifted. So it just drops them in a little bit, stretches the low back. If that works for you, and you don't have a little dog on you, then just change or stay as you are. Just take a few breaths. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to do the same thing we did with the bolster the first time. So you might lift your hips, you might be able to just, draw the bolster down. And then we'll just bring it to just rest on top of your body again. And we'll just do that same, lengthwise on your body. Change the interlace of your fingers though. Just kind of give that bolster a little hug. Your legs can be straight. They can just flop. The shoulders are just, probably a little bit above the floor. Just letting them soften. And again, just being with your breath. The ebb and the flow. The rising and the falling. You can slow your breath down. Nice long inhale. And a nice relaxed exhale. Keep your face soft, the forehead soft, the eyes soft. Okay, and then starting to, you can release your hands, maybe you take your arms over your head for a few moments, and then just like you're waking up from Shavasana, we'll just wiggle the ankles, the wrists, the fingers, the toes. And then you can slide your bolster off, bend your knees, and we'll roll over to the side and come back up for sitting. Okay. So sit in a comfortable way, however you like. If your legs are still wrapped, just unwrap. Just sit any way you like. Good. Okay, so just before we move into Shavasana, we're just going to do a little bit of nostril breathing. So I've done alternate nostril breathing with you many times. We're just going to break it down a little slower. So what we're going to do, you'll take your dominant hand and the thumb just rests at where the bones are in your nose, just before it flares out. You just rest your thumb there if it's right or left, I guess it doesn't matter. And then the other hand will be the ring finger, maybe the pinky together on the other side. And then you can rest your index finger, your middle finger on your third eye, or you can tuck them in and just rest them anywhere. Okay, just rest here with your head a little bit bowed. Just breathing through both nostrils. You might notice one is clearer than the other. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to seal off your exhale completely. Seal the right nostril. Inhale through the left. And then exhale through the left. Then open up the right nostril. Do a full breath in through both nostrils and out. And then we'll seal the left, and you'll do inhale, exhale through the right. Release the left nostril, full breath in, full breath out through both. And then you'll seal the right, inhale, exhale through the left. In and out through both. In and out through the right. And then in and out through both. And then you do the same with the left. So continue on your own. At your own pace. And we're going to end off with an exhale through the left nostril. So whenever you get there, just continue on. And the next time you exhale through the left, then you can release your hand and just feel your breath. Just sit in your stillness, eyes closed. And notice for yourself if that's changed anything. And how you're feeling, how you're breathing, your own experience. And then just open your eyes a little bit, and you don't even open them all the way, because our next pose from here is Shavasana. So I'm going to take legs up the wall. So you're welcome to do that, but you don't have to. Obviously, you can do whatever you like. You can start off in waterfall if you like. If you want to take the bolster behind your back as you lie down. And if you don't want to have anything, that's fine too. Something underneath the head might be nice, and whatever else you like. So I'll just talk you through as I set myself up for legs up the wall. I'm not going to go right close to the wall, have the bolster a couple inches away. I'll be wrapping my legs up again too, so that they stay together. And I will also pull this blanket down so I have a little support for my head. So take the time, my friends, make it very nice for yourself. I'll say, like, when you fold your blanket and there's wrinkles in it, and then you lie down and you're like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And it's worth it to take your time and come back. Okay. So I hope you're comfortable. You have everything you need, just as you are. Okay, so even as you set yourself up for comfort, if there's some places that are, still have to settle, that's your doorway. The entranceway into this body, to noticing how you're feeling, where you're holding tension right now. And to where you can settle. Resting in your stillness. And I gift you this, as you're resting, don't go to the past, don't go to the future. Just stay in the present. Easier said than done, but let that be the invitation. It's to not go to the past, don't go to the future. Stay in this present moment, resting in your stillness and open to this experience. Staying as you are. Just dropping yourself more deeply if there's space. Connecting to the flow of your breath. And when you feel ready, just bringing in gentle movement. Just honoring the process of the undoing. So just taking your time and creating your own journey to bring yourself to the fetal position, back to seated. No rush. Savoring, honoring, enjoying this, act of doing nothing. Just feeling how your energy has shifted. Even feeling into your body, noticing parts that might feel a little more relaxed and released. Bringing your hands together at your heart, any way you want that to be. As you inhale, grow tall, and as you exhale, bow your chin to all that you are and all that you've offered, all that you have brought to the mat. And whatever the practice was for you, acknowledge that you did good practice today. We'll seal this class with one O. Inhale. Bow your chin. Shanti, peace, namaste. Take a nice big breath. Breathe into your hands. Catch your breath and lift your chin. Open your eyes and offer this to yourself. And we'll send it out. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a beautiful sleep tonight. See you soon.
Hi. Hello.